What's up, y'all? Welcome to our YouTube channel, Africans Talk Football. Appreciate your guys' continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
The freedom fighter. How is he?
All right, welcome back to another episode of Africans Talk Football, where we bring you fresh soccer news highlighting the Africans and African Americans who have seen success within the sport. We'll bring you news highlighting the Premier League as well as informing you on top European leagues and soccer news worldwide. Whether this is your first episode with us or you've been rocking with us from the jump, just want to say thank you to all of our friends and supporters. Again, my name's Cornelius. I'm joined by my boys and my fellow co-hosts. Mike, how you feeling tonight?
Oh man, it's cold out here, but can't complain. How about you, Gabriel? How you feeling?
Yeah, it's a lot of snow, but I feel good, man. Got a good home dub yesterday, so yeah, feel good. How you feeling, Salam?
Very good, man. Can't complain. Very happy to be here with you all. Cornelius.
It's good, man. It's been a good weekend. Like Gabriel said, just wanted to shout out the Cleveland Crunch to their very, very exciting win last night. 8-8 at the end of regulation. The game went into overtime, and then they ended up going into penalty shootouts, where there is a penalty shootout in the indoor soccer game. It was fun, man. Very exciting. The Crunch were down 3 goals in the fourth quarter, brought it all the way back 7-7 to tie it up, and then obviously 8-8 going into overtime. But it was very cool. Being a coach here in Cleveland Heights, we were able to take some of the Cleveland Heights kids out to the game as well. So they were able to walk out with the players. They formed a tunnel pregame, got played that game at halftime where we split them up into 2 teams on the half. So they were able to showcase what we teach them a little bit. And it was a lot of their first time seeing a professional game in any capacity, so it was cool that we have the indoor soccer league here in Cleveland. And more so that we were able to show kids, just because you might not make it pro or on the U.S. national team, there are other avenues where you can go and play at a very, very high level. So it was super cool to see. Gabriel, again, got to shout him out, Mr. Goal, Mr. Assist. I'm sure. I think he's like top 3 on the team in assists. I know he's on the top leaderboard in the league as well. So shout out the young Shata. Very, very exciting game. But yeah, man, before we hop into our teams, I did have a few things I wanted to talk about. First is this new USL league, speaking about American soccer and other avenues that, you can take if you don't make it to the MLS initially. The USL 1 is introducing a new league as part of their USL tier. And they're also, there are early rumors that they will have the relegation and promotion sort of what we've come to see in Europe as a mainstay. So how do we feel about that? How do we feel about the USL competing with the MLS? And do we think this forces the MLS to adopt, or do you think it'll just be something where the USL has that promotion relegation and we'll still see this sort of division among American soccer?
I mean, I think it's honestly, I was really surprised to hear this. I think for this to even exist in the US is even a big feat in itself, especially when you think about, I feel like most of the sport owners here are just about making money. There could be a few of them that are ambitious and actually want to win, but I was actually surprised to hear this just because traditionally American owners like to protect their assets. So having a situation or a scenario where your team, your company could be relegated and could lose out on a bunch of money doesn't really seem like something that they would typically go for. So I think that this would be great. I think that this would make soccer in America much more competitive. Do I think that it hurts the MLS? Not necessarily, because I think the MLS is it's built itself up as the best league in America. I think you'll have a lot of players potentially leave there. So I don't know. I think the player pool and maybe a little bit watered down, but no, I think that this is a great opportunity for American players who want to play here and Ultimately, it would kind of give you like what the FA Cup has, in the sense of you can have this team from the second or third division come up and beat a team in the first division and potentially win I don't know, let's say an Open Cup, or I don't know. I think it could be a good opportunity.
Yeah, I think kudos to USL for taking the initiative to do this, but I think the MLS should be the one behind this, this movement. And I don't know if having two Division One professional leagues is what we need right now, but I do believe that if they want to get together and merge and come up with a solution to how they can get these two divisions together, maybe that would be great. But I like USL Championship pushing this ideology and idea in the US soccer space, but I think the MLS should also hop on this because it would be better. They're the top league, so it would be better if they had the format of relegation and promotion. But we'll see what happens. I think we're headed in the right direction, though. I said we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I'm just excited to see like this relegation system in America because we're just going to see a different pool of players. I agree with the fact that that the MLS is the league that should be kind of implementing this already. I feel like they should have had some type of version of this, but I'm happy to see the USL do it, and you know it'll be a fun league. There are a lot of fun players over there.
Yeah,
Like you said, different style of play, different pool of players, and it'll only grow. So honestly, I can honestly see the USL like getting bought out by the MLS because they're probably too like lazy to build it, and then
yeah, yeah,
just adopt and everything will be the MLS, and then that's how the system will finally be like a full system. But yeah, that's how I feel. I think the MLS will eventually buy them out, but you know it's
yeah.
dope.
Hopefully,
I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing.
yeah.
Do you think that there's like, go ahead, Cornelius? You didn't say nothing.
No. I was just gonna say I think those are all great points. What you had to say?
So both of you guys, Cornelius and Mike, or I'm sorry, Gabriel and Mike, you guys said at some point you think that the MLS would buy them out. What do you think would need to happen for them to do that? Because for me, reason why I asked that, I could see them doing that, see the MLS buying them out, but the only way I see them doing that is if you remove a salary cap from the league, from at least the first division, because there has to be a way
Mm-hmm.
where a club like the Columbus Crew, one of the first teams in MLS, they have to have some sort of advantage over and this is no disrespect, but this is the first team that just came to mind, but like a Tampa Bay Rowdies, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying, or like a New York Cosmos, if like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it just can't be like, I don't know. That's why I was just asking, like, what do you think it would take? I think they would have to remove the salary cap because you almost have to protect these almost like prestigious clubs, if that makes it. Like you can't
Yeah,
relegate the
yeah.
Crew or the LA
Um,
Galaxy or the
I think the idea is a great idea. I think it also comes down to the media viewership, how they spread around, where these games are going to be shown. Right now, Apple TV has MLS, and it's generating all that money for them. So who's going to pick up USL, and how is that money going to be spread around? And I think this would be a great opportunity for Apple capture this USL, championship league that is coming up. So then they can kind of have a little bit of a monopoly on this American soccer scene. With that, I think it helps the USL team. I don't know how much money necessarily Apple would be willing to put into it, but that could be the start of it. I think the idea is a great idea, but it's hard to think that there would be two separate professional leagues running side by side. I mean, there's definitely going to be an issue with, I would say, USL surviving if they're going to be quote unquote, competing directly against the MLS. That's why the idea of, maybe the MLS just buys it out, uses this USL Championship League idea as a way to I don't know, reshuffle the league and maybe create a new system of promotion and relegation, because you will have enough teams really to create a solid Division 1 and a solid Division 2, possibly even a solid Division 3. And if, let's say, Apple is investing in the viewership, making sure that all these games get to
They
TV
don't have
screens,
3 divisions.
I mean, I feel like they have enough teams to stretch it. You don't think they have enough teams between the two leagues to stretch it?
I mean, if you're looking at, they do, because if you're looking at the MLS, the MLIS Pro, which is separate entity but still somewhat connected, and then you're looking at USL Championship, USL 1, and then USL 2. You could potentially have 3, but I think they would consolidate to 2, especially if you're looking to start something very brand new. You don't want to have 60 teams just for the sake of having 60 teams in 3 leagues. It's a little bit better to start with the 2 leagues, get that implemented, have some sort of standard and basis before you go and say, okay, maybe we want to add a 3rd team. Because what I do like about American soccer is that we're starting to see them interact with the Mexican leagues now. We're starting to see this CONCACAF sort of playoff, this CONCACAF Champions League. So we're starting to see that this North American soccer is growing. And obviously there's a way to capitalize that. I just think it needs to be done right. But yeah, I agree with you guys. If it does get bought out by the MLS, I just hope it's done right. I don't really know the particulars. No salary cap would be interesting. Because again, you do have teams like LA Galaxy and New York Red Bulls who could go spend, and even teams like Austin. Austin's a big tech city. They spend a lot of money to be an expansion team. So there are teams that have money, and then when you look at these mid markets, it would be interesting to see how that works out. But
I was just saying that because you have to be able to protect these big clubs. Some of these clubs, you can't relegate the Columbus Crew. I'm not saying that just because we're from Ohio, but I'm just they've literally Chicago Fire. Yeah, they haven't been great, but it's these are some of the first teams that were ever founded in the MLS. So if I'm one of those owners, I'm there's no way that I'm gonna be able I'm not gonna get relegated just because I don't know. We have a bad
because
I know
because
we have a bad.
I mean, they don't have to do, but bro, at least have it be one team.
Yeah.
You can start with just one team. Hey, the worst team from here, you're out of here, and then have a playoff in the they do in the championship for the top. I don't know, 3 teams. 2 and the 3 play each other, and then they play a final. You feel me? You could just start like that, because if that team
really.
But I was saying, even if you just start
one is not a bad idea.
Yeah, no, and honestly, the way the MLS is set up, you could do one in the East, one in the West.
Yeah, exactly.
And that way, there's always a rotating team on the East and the West, and you figure out the particulars after. I mean, there are ways to do it for sure. I just think it needs to be right.
I just also believe you have to convince these owners that no matter what, you'll be protecting their assets. So that's the biggest thing. Like Salam said, American sports owners, they look at this differently. It's not just sports to them; it's also a business. And I mean, if we're being, for real, it's a business. But anyways, you have to find a way to protect them. And I think if you can find a way where the relegating team does not lose a lot of money, you can find a way to work around it.
I mean, if you're that also, good, you should get right back.
Exactly. But also, you have to find a way to help these smaller teams in the end compete, so it'll be interesting. But I would love to see a league in the US where we relegate and promote. We need that.
Same.
I agree. All good points. I like where this is headed, and this conversation is just going to get a little bit more broader as time reveals more details. But moving back to European football on the men's side, we had a very, very interesting week for Mr. Jude Bellingham. I wanted to start off by talking about the Champions League game, Manchester City versus Real Madrid. Very, very exciting game, nail biter. 2-3. Madrid ended up getting a 90-second goal from Jude Bellingham to clinch a very, very important away win in that two-leg head-to-head match of City versus Madrid. I mean, first and foremost, just talking about City versus Madrid, in the first round of these knockout stages is kind of tough because this is popcorn football. This is champagne football. This is what you want to sit down and enjoy and watch, and hopefully it's further down in the tournament where there's a little bit more at stake. But anytime these two teams match up, it's going to be fireworks. And the match itself was great. I wasn't able to watch all of it since I was in the office, but I was watching on my phone what I could, and just back and forth, kind of what you expect from a City Madrid match. Haaland with 2 goals, kind of doing what he does, but great game from Madrid. They never really look out of it. Madrid is one of those teams where, we kind of say this every year, they're going to score. They're going to score. So cutting off in the 91st minute, 92nd minute is to your detriment. They always find a way to get these goals at the end of games. And shout out Jude Bellingham. And then we could talk about the red card a little bit later, but I do want to start with Madrid versus City. Any takes from that match?
I think we saw that this City team needs to revamped. That's what I saw from this game from this past week. It's just, this was one of the games they've played well all season against top competition like Real Madrid. It seemed like, watching that game, it seemed like they really had to dig to get that result, and they still didn't win the game. I think Stones was probably one of their best players, but the winning goal, is it on him? I don't know, but the effort to me was not where it should have been. At least knowing that, if Bellingham taps it in, that wins the game. I feel like the effort should have been a little better from Stones, but I still don't blame him for, the third goal. But overall, I just think this City team it's what we've seen all season, really. And the only thing I can come up with is the fact that Kevin is washed. I mean, the decline of Kevin De Bruyne, it's crazy to me. I still can't wrap my head around it, but it's just, man, the decline just. And to me, you guys would think I'm crazy, but I felt like this is the first game of the season I've seen him contribute. Actually played decent. And it wasn't even his best game. And it's crazy for me to even say that. But overall, you just saw a team that was younger, more hungry. The other team was just a little older and just trying to get a result. And even for how well they played, they just couldn't stay up to par with Real Madrid. So, I mean, that's how I saw the game, to be honest.
Listen, I'm going to keep it real short. Madrid is going to Madrid. Simple as that. It doesn't matter. It's just their competition. I would never take them lightly. And I don't expect them to sit out the first. I don't expect them to be out in the first round. When's the last time that's happened? Regardless of who they played. So regardless if it was ugly or they had won 5-0 or whatever, I haven't seen Madrid be out in the first round of the Champions League in a long time. So I just think, yes, City is in a rut, but Madrid is gonna play well in their competition regardless.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Gabriel. Definitely, this is their competition. For me, it was more so about Real Madrid than City. And it's funny because when I looked at the lineup, it's funny because obviously we support teams in the Prem, so we focus more on the Premier League than we do the other leagues. This year, I'll be honest, I haven't watched much Real Madrid aside from a few highlights. But watching Champions League, whenever they get matched up with a team, you kind of look at them like, oh, so what are y'all looking like nowadays? And when they showed up to the Etihad, I looked at the lineup. I saw a back line of Mendy, Asensio, who has had, a pretty good season so far in terms of, filling in for the people that are out right now at center back. So him, Mendy, Tchouaméni, and Valverde. I'm like, there's only
that's a
two
crazy back
natural.
line.
Yeah, there's only two natural defenders back there. Danny Ceballos is playing away from home at the Etihad in 2025. Had an assist. You wouldn't believe me if I told you he had an assist. But
It's crazy. It's really crazy.
no, man, I think like Real Madrid, like they never look good in these moments. They just get the job done. It's like that. It's cliche that never say die attitude, but nah, man, this is their competition, and this is who I predict is going to win the Champions League. So I'm not surprised. I think every round is going to be like this. And the elephant in the room is and he's starting to heat up. I feel like at the right time, but I feel like Mbappe, we haven't really seen the best from Mbappe yet.
I agree.
Yeah.
Once this is around that time, February, March. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, this is when it's he's gonna start heating up. So
yeah, I agree. He had a goal this weekend too, though.
yeah,
Mbappe is quietly, bagging
He's back
goals for
on
Real
track.
Madrid. Yeah,
He's back on track. Yeah, he wasn't.
quietly.
He definitely wasn't himself for a bit. The jersey and the badge were a little heavy at first, but
Yeah.
Vinny
he's
hasn't.
since gotten used to it.
Yeah, Vinny really hasn't. I feel like he hasn't had. I mean, not that he's had a bad season. He hasn't really done to his standard. I feel like as to what he's used to.
Yeah.
Bellingham. There's a lot of I really think in the Champions League this latter half, I think how they've been able to manage Luka Modric is crazy because Luka Modric doesn't even. He comes in and plays 20 minutes every game. He's not like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Champions League, watch. He's
They're
gonna
gonna
be.
need him. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, no, I agree. But anything about that red card?
This weekend. I mean, I personally feel like maybe it was the language barrier. We've seen the news of what he said, whether he said what he said or whether he didn't say what he said. I don't think it matters necessarily. Yes, you have to give the refs respect, but I mean, we're old, man. These are older players. The language will be a little different in the heated moment. But a straight red it's crazy to me because of what somebody said. A straight red? Because of what they said? I mean, I can understand based on, if it's racist talk or, something crazy. But I mean, from what the news is saying he said, I don't know if it warrants a straight red. I don't know.
I fully agree. I mean, like you said, it could be a language barrier, but in any, I don't know, in the heat of the moment, in any big match like that, I don't feel like that should ever be a red. If anything, it's a yellow. Dissent. Don't talk to me like that. Respect. All right, I can understand that yellow card, but a straight red is wild.
It's crazy. Yeah, and I feel like this is the last 2 weeks. There's been controversial calls against Real Madrid, and I don't know if it's a whole thing going on. If there's some type of war between the Real Madrid players and the refs, but I don't know if it all correlates together. But I can't look at this one and be like, oh yeah, they're against them. I get why the ref will give him a card. Yeah, maybe he didn't understand what he said, but a straight red, no. I don't think it fits the crime, to be honest.
They be instigating shit, bro.
They do. They're not guilty free from this.
I love Vinny, but when what's his name scored? Who was that? I think it was midweek when Mbappe scored. Like he's just such an instigator. like the shit that he does to the fans, he just winds them up, and it's just like I've seen so many videos of you arguing with fans and just like more than you. I don't know, bro. But it is what it is.
Did he go into the stands? Oh no, that was Liverpool, right?
I encourage, yeah, fuck it,
Who's
bro. Do it.
Liverpool won
I,
it to six?
it's our month, man. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
Man.
get it out, young
I'm with
king.
you. Fuck it.
Young king. Nah, man. Let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes, bro. It's been it's not a lot of W's in the chat. Not a lot of W's in the chat this week. Might as well just go ahead and start with Chelsea since we got off the losing fest early.
Oh man,
tough day blues. I'm feeling blue, feeling beat up. I'm beat up and down. I got beat up and down. I'm blue. Tight. Honestly, man, this was an ass whooping, bro. 2 weeks in a row, Brighton has just done whatever they wanted. They said, "Hey, we give you our players. That's fine. You could take who you want. You want Matoma too? Because I guess the rumor is we want Matoma now because that's what we do.
Not
Brighton
surprised.
beats us, and then we go we go crawling back to them and say, "Hey, I had fun. Can we can we do that again sometime?" Yeah, man, this was just terrible. There really wasn't a good performance from anyone. Chalobah, like first and foremost, Matoma's goal was just class. First and foremost, it was class. I don't want to take anything away from that goal, but you can't get a body on him at all. Chalobah, not even a little push to get him off balance. I'm not saying you have to foul the man, but foul the man. We're outside of the box. I'm totally fine with the yellow card there instead of a goal, especially on a Chelsea team where we're lacking confidence. We don't have a lot of people up front that can put the ball in the back of the net, and teams are figuring us out and they're shutting down Cole Palmer. You know, it's really not that difficult anymore. I mean, I said it last week and I'll say it again. Once teams figure out that once you shut down Cole, there are not a lot of players on the pitch that can score goals. Madueke is gone now. You know, Pedro, Neto, Sancho, like they look cute, but like what are they actually doing on the pitch for me? They're not doing that.
Freedom.
You know what I'm saying? Like I texted in the group chat. I could probably defend Sancho at this point. I know what he's doing. He's going down the line. He's cutting back, step over. He's running. Like it's not anything we haven't seen before, but it's frustrating because now the whole momentum is changing inside the locker room and outside the locker room. You could tell at first, you know, in the beginning of the year, Maresca was a little arrogant with his pressers. Now he's taking the humble side, but it's a little soft, bro. Like what is this? Oh, I never said we were going to be top 4 this year. I just said we were going to compete. I never said we were fighting for trophies. I just said we were. No. When you first came here, you were on This Is Chelsea Club, and I know what we expect. When we were running amok, when we had our unbeaten in 10, you were, I know we're top 4. I know people want to say we're in a race, but we're just focused on, but now it's, we had a tough end of December. You know, we had a high and low in January. Now it's February and things aren't getting better, but I'm not seeing what you're trying to do to remedy that. I'm still, now that we can only play X on the pitch, it doesn't look great. And so for me now, it's how do we maintain what we started the first half of the season through the rest of the year? Because now we got Bournemouth, now we got Newcastle, now we got all these teams around 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that are fighting for top 4. Like this isn't ours anymore. So for me, it's how can you maintain what these teams like Fulham are doing, what these teams like Bournemouth are doing, what these teams like Nottingham Forest are doing? Like, how can we maintain that same level? Because if you look at our team, on paper, we should be able to compete with the clubs around us. So I don't want to just throw in the towel and say that top 4 is not attainable. But how do we get back to winning games? It's really what it is. How do we get back to stop leaking these goals? That's really what it comes down to. And I don't know what the answer is, but as a manager, Maresca has to figure that out. Because no Chelsea fan is going to be okay with just Conference League. We're looking at top 4. We're striving for top 4. So It's how can you get us there, fam?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the points you just made. I'm in a different position than you are right now. I think I've become more realistic to the situation at hand. I still believe we get top four. I think we are seeing how different we look now without Nicholas Jackson. Um, I think all season Maresca was, being a little stubborn. If you look at some of the guys we let go, Renato Vega should have never gone on loan. This is a guy that we could be using right now. I mean, I don't understand why he went out on loan. And then you see a player like Joao Felix, who wasn't playing. Somehow we couldn't get him in the lineup. He leaves and he seems to be, a benefit for other clubs like AC Milan. Somehow has found a way to get in the team at AC Milan, which makes no sense to me. And Maresca is getting to a point where I don't know if he's getting frustrated with the fact that this team is full of young players. And I can tell. I think he's gotten to the point where he's like, okay, I don't know how many ways I can, tell these guys how this thing should be. Because after the game in his press conference, he was apologizing to the fans that, he tries to tell this team every day that, where we are as a team is not where this team needs to be. And I mean, I agree with him, but still, it's like some of the decisions you've made in the past, it's just mind-boggling. And the way we are playing, it falls on your head. I think there were a lot of things earlier in the season you could have done that you didn't do. And now I feel like we're stuck in this weird position of having certain guys having to play. I mean, Sancho's been great since he got to us, but in recent games, he just hasn't done anything. I think he hasn't mixed up a lot of, the combination of players haven't been mixed up enough. I felt like there were a set group that he liked, and he just stuck with it.
I feel like they were mixed up too much, though. I feel like that was part of the issue. Like he kept mixing it up, and I mean now it's we have injuries, so we have to do what we have to do. But my whole gripe with him from the beginning is we don't have an 11, bro. Like who's our 11? Who are we going to? Who are we going with?
That's what I'm saying. You had Chalobah in the room. You went on preseason you didn't take him on preseason, but you had Chalobah in the camp. You got to watch him, and you still sent him out on loan. For you to later on realize that he needed to stay. Yeah, you blame the injuries, whatnot, but it is what it is. It's like some decisions you can't afford to get wrong. Some decisions you're not going to get a second chance, like bringing the guy back. There are certain decisions that you make, and it changes, the trajectory of your team and the trajectory of your season. And I think he hasn't made enough of those decisions. I think we're still a team good enough to be able to fight for top four. I really do. I think we're good enough to still get top four. It's just a matter of, finding the right combination of guys to finish the season. I think that's where we are right now. And a game like this past weekend, if Reece James is healthy, why are we bringing him on later? He didn't play. He didn't play in the middle in the FA Cup game last week, so he's fresh. So why is he not coming on to play majority part of the game until we're down 3-0 before you're bringing him on? That's what I'm saying. Some of these decisions he's made, recently, it's just been. I don't think it has been the right decision, but overall, I'm fine with where we are. To be honest, I'm fine with where we are. I can't ask for more because it's not even realistic. Like who am I? What am I looking at to say that this is where we have to be at this spot? Because if you look at last season, at this time last season, we're still fighting to even be in the top 10. And from last season to this season, it's a progression. But does that mean that we stay complacent? No, we keep fighting. And we keep pushing. But we don't have the guys for me to be. upset with what I've seen. But in this past week, yeah, I'm not happy with the performance. 5-1 on aggregate. 5-1 on aggregate it's not okay.
Yeah, that's and see that's my issue. Like we say that we have the guys to compete because I fully believe we do, but these performances are very, very lackluster. I mean, just look at just these last two performances to Brighton. They shut us down
Yeah,
in all
completely.
facets, bro. They shut us down. And now if you really look at who we have going into games, like where are the goals coming from?
Exactly.
And I think that's our issue. We're leaking goals and we have no one to score. So I fully believe in what you're saying, but top four, top four with the team that we had at the top of 2025, sure. Sitting here on February, what is it, 16?
No.
It's I really wonder where our goals are going to come from because we can't rely on Sancho, we can't rely on Neto. We haven't seen it. And Cuckoo, we literally have not seen it. So for me, it's
Right.
like it's like how are we scoring? And that's my biggest issue, right now. Reece James would help, but he's not our score. He's not scoring
No.
goals for us. Like I agree with you, but it's that's what it's going to come down to now. Where these goals coming from?
Yeah, it's an interesting time ahead of us because we have to go to a Villa next game. We're not even at home. I think we just need one of these wins. If we can go to Villa and get a point, I think it changes the trajectory of our next few games. But that's a big if because we have to go against this newly assembled Villa.
Mm-hmm.
They look dangerous. Somehow they didn't get the win against Ipswich, but we'll see what happens. I think we're still good enough, man. I just don't think we're healthy right now to be challenging like we should. I think our health right now is going to kill us, but it's still not a good excuse. I think we have enough good players to get a result at Brighton. To not lose 3-0 at Brighton. That's ridiculous.
I wanted to ask you guys. I just watched the second goal go in. I mean, it's unfair. I'm not putting this on him, but I'm just wondering. Maresca dropped Robert Sanchez and played Jorgensen. What were your thoughts on him?
It's not his fault, man. I mean, to be honest, he's not the greatest either. But like,
Second goal?
Yeah, no.
To me, as long as you're not making mistakes like this, you're fine. Some of these goals, it takes time to, really feel settled in. I think he's been in and out of the lineup all season. And yeah, I mean, finally getting, that confidence to be the number one. I think we should also give him time to also settle in. But I can't put goals like that on him if it's not like glaring mistakes from him.
Yeah, and
it's hard for me to do that.
I agree with Mike. And my thing is for real, bro, like a lot of this is on Maresca for me, bro. Because for me at this point, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Because for a lot of this year, we've been saying that Jorgensen, why isn't he the starter? Sanchez has been making these mistakes from early, bro. From week 2, 3, we've been like, yo, like we knew Sanchez wasn't this guy. We brought this Jorgensen in because he's supposed to be this new wave of keeper that's great. But then we never really saw him. We only saw him in these, these cup competitions, FA Cup, Carabao, Conference League, and he played decently. So for him in match week 25 to be named the starter after Sanchez has had a whole, 2/3 of the year of being our keeper, it's to throw him in a match where we just got pummeled by Brighton a week ago. We're back at Brighton, and then they have the confidence, they have the momentum. It's tough, you know what I'm saying? So I really don't put a lot of this on him. Just like Mike said, as long as he isn't making glaring mistakes, the weak wrist stuff, some of these saves that I maybe expect you to make, I can get over that. But that second goal wasn't the reason why we lost the match. Like let's be honest. That wasn't the reason we lost the match. And we didn't really have much chances to score on the opposite end. So If it was one of those games where it was a little bit closer, maybe I'd be a little bit more nitpicky. But right now, having Jorgensen in goal is the least of our worries, bro.
No, yeah, I was just wondering. No, I mean, because obviously, like both of you guys have said, like Sanchez has been making mistakes early, so there was already those questions, and then he gets the opportunity. Well, I think he's actually had his opportunity before too, but
yeah,
I was just wondering. And then obviously Sancho, people are on his case a lot, but I feel like it's not just him though. Too, I feel like Pedro hasn't really done anything either.
I don't know. I feel like you guys sound like how I did 3 years ago. You're like, we have the players, but we just haven't found the consistency. You guys sound just like me, bro.
No, but
I'm so serious. You guys used to laugh at me. You guys used to laugh at me.
You're right,
in my face.
No, but
do you think this is the same situation?
No, but
yes. No.
I mean, maybe not the same.
Their back line needs. We were talking about this in New York,
but no, Salam. My back line needed the Lord, bro. I had Mustafi, I had Rob Holding, I had come on, fam. I'm had saying like when we did Kolosianak, and Maitland Niles as a starting back line, bro.
I'm saying when you were saying that when we started this podcast, when you were saying that, or I think you were getting to the point where didn't you have Saliba? Didn't you have Gabriel? Or was it still those guys?
Bro, we've had Saliba for what, 2 years now, 3 years now. He was on loan.
Oh yeah, so I'm tripping. We started this.
We sent him on loan. We sent him. He was ready. He was player of the year in Ligue 1. And then
hold on, say your back line. What was your back line back then,
bro?
Tell me your back line.
It used to be like back when we didn't have Saliba, bro. It used to rotate. Like we used to have Kolosianak sometimes. Mustafi, Rob Holding.
Wow.
Xhaka would sometimes play in the back
David
line.
Luiz.
Maitland Niles, David Luiz.
You had Hector Bellerin. Remember Hector Bellerin?
Hector.
Yeah, we had a lot of guys. Per Mertesacker back in the day. Bro, like we used to, man. Past couple of years, our back line wasn't what it needed to be. I mean, you saw how we collapsed when, Saliba did go down and Rob Holding came in for matches.
Cost you the league.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say all that, but yeah. The quality just definitely dropped. But anyway.
But yeah, I think right now I think our biggest issue is leaking goals, but I think our newest issue is the fact that both of our biggest contributor outside of Cole Palmer is gone, like officially for time, and our second guy who's been a spark is now injured. So when you take 25 goals off of the team like that, it's really going to be hard to score. So I don't know, man. I really don't have high hopes for Chelsea right now. I again in New York, I said I believe we would finish in 5th place. We're currently in 6th place. City just leapfrogged us. Bournemouth just leapfrogged us. So it'll be close. It'll be real close. But I don't know. I just look at this team and I still believe in Chelsea to the point where I'm just like, we should be better.
Yeah, we definitely should be better. We definitely should be better.
And I think the reason we're a little upset is because some of these guys who we're expecting to be a little bit better, aren't producing. Neto, we knew what he could have been. When he was at Wolves and injury kind of plagued him, but the production isn't where we
output exactly.
Sancho, we need you to produce, and I know Salam always makes fun of us, but production just isn't there. So we'll see.
He's not direct enough. He needs to be direct.
Yeah.
We need that 25 mil though. No. Hey,
no.
Yeah, 25 mil.
Yeah. Y'all need it more. Y'all need it more and more every week, man. Especially after losing the Spurs. I don't know. I was watching the match with Gabriel earlier, and I was like, bro, as bad as United is, I really believe that they can still win this match. At least get a goal back, bro.
Yeah.
even down to the 80th minute, 85th minute, I'm like, I still feel like this team could go snatch and grab at least one goal. And I said, if they lose, bro, I will lose all respect for United because I don't respect Spurs at all. And for them to beat you guys off of a James Matters, like, you know, it's just like I feel bad for y'all because I really don't respect Spurs and I didn't want to have to say anything great about them because they didn't play great. The highlight for me that game was Tell. I saw 90 minutes of Matthias Tell, and although he didn't score, he was looking for it all match. Like you could tell he wanted to score from the time the ref blew his whistle. Like Gabriel said, I don't know if he's auditioning for Spurs or auditioning for the Prem or auditioning for the world, but he clearly is trying to show, please, you know, I can play, fam. Like somebody come pick me up. I can play. Because like we kind of talked about earlier, you know, it's an option to buy, but it's a player's option, you know. So even if Spurs say yes, Tell can say no. So I think he's auditioning for whoever wants his talents. And right now, you know, he looks dangerous on Spurs, you know, and on a healthy Spurs, who knows? The other highlight for me was Vicario, you know, welcome back. A lot of the goals that potentially could have gone in were saved, you know, very, very good saves. Garnacho had 2 or 3 where if it wasn't for Vicario, who knows? So I don't know, Salam. You're gonna have to explain for your team because today was a tough watch, bro.
Let me hear them bells. Play them bells. You ain't excluded from this. Drop them bells. Drop them bells.
You know, my whole segment could just be sounds.
So we don't have the capacity.
But nah, man, yeah, bro, it's tough. It was a tough watch. I agree with you with what you said, Cornelius. This is the 3rd time Spurs has beat us this season. They've done the double on us in the Premier League. They've knocked us out of the Carabao Cup. And you know, usually I'm a big believer in, you know, the score doesn't necessarily reflect, you know, how the game went, but today I felt like the score definitely reflected how the game went. Because like you said, Cornelius, although we were down, I felt like we had plenty of opportunities to score. I felt like we were the better team, especially in the second half. Just a common issue that we seem to not be able to fix is that we just can't put goals in the back of the net. And I mean, I think Vicario was the man of the match, or at least he was on football. I think we had 6 shots on target. I think 4 of them were just to him, just straight to him. Garnacho had a crazy miss. To be very honest with you, and this is not reactionary. I think I said this a few weeks ago. I think when I looked at him today, and I looked at Højlund, and I'll get to Højlund here in a second, but when I looked at him today, and when I looked at Højlund, I just saw 2 players that were just trying to do too much, just trying to prove too much that like, yo, like we can play at this level. And I'm not questioning if they can play at this level or not. I just don't think that they fit what the manager wants to do. There's no role for a winger of profile of like Garnacho in Amorim's system, or at least the way that he wants to play. He's not going to play as a wing back. He's not going to play as a 10. So, and based off of where we are financially, I think cashing in on an academy product is going to help us generate money so that we can get someone who is a 10 or a right wing back, because that's what we need. But I don't think he'll be here in the summer. And this is not reactionary. Højlund, I just think that, you know what, 72 million, you know, with add-ons, and I just feel like if we could get some money off of him in the summer, by all means, I'd take it.
Why are you saying that with add-ons like that?
Well, he's not getting the add-ons, Mike, so you don't have to worry about the add-ons. It's just 72 million as of right now.
It's very, very, it's so poor, man. So
He's not good. He's just not. I don't want to say he's not good, but I just don't think that he's what we need.
Yeah, no, not right now.
But
Xerxes better though. I thought
Xerxes is definitely better. He's one of a few players. Him, Maserati. I actually thought
Dorgu.
Dorgu did really
Yeah,
well.
I like.
Garnacho just neglected him all game and just never would pass him the ball. And again, I don't blame him though, because it's hard to see what's going on around you when you're dribbling with your head down. But that's the type of player that he is. So, but nah, man, it's really tough because obviously, in spite of all the news about all the players that we've lost in the past few days, um, we were still in the game today, and we had the chances to score. And just it was the same story. We shot ourselves in the foot. We spotted them a goal, and after they scored the goal, I don't think that they really even had a shot on target. They definitely didn't have two shots on target on game. So yeah, man, it's frustrating that we lost the way that we did. I think that this is 8 Premier League losses in the last 12 games, Premier League. So we just and this is a struggling Spurs side too, which makes it frustrating. But yeah, the game was poor. I mean, obviously, I feel like we could have done better on the goal, um, but yeah, I did want to say though, I did want to address the bench because the bench had one senior player, the rest were all youth players. Obviously, I say this, it's unfortunate, but injuries are part of the game. At this time of year, illnesses are also a part of the game, and with the way that the schedules are, injuries are expected. They're going to happen. You just don't want them to all happen at once, and you don't want all those players to be your best players. Unfortunately for us, in a span of 2 weeks, we've lost Sandro, lost Ahmad, Merino, lost Toby Collier. I don't know if that really matters, but we lost him too. So when I looked at the lineup today, I was like, wow, it's very unfortunate that we had the injuries, but I would have liked to see the manager take a little bit of risk and play some of these players. How bad can they be? I mean, because some of these senior players, quite frankly, are not getting the job done. For them to play, for almost everybody today, except I don't even know who got subbed off today.
Casemiro.
Obi
Casemiro,
came on.
the only Costa, which I don't think he didn't play bad today. I don't think that he played bad today. But for him to be the only player to get subbed off, it's crazy. Like
Casemiro didn't play bad today.
I don't think he played bad today. For how long he's come in there. No, the reason why he looked as bad as he did was because
there it is. Spin it.
Because no. Because I think we can all agree Bruno and Casemiro is the worst we have. Between where Casemiro is at, where he is at in his career, and what Bruno Fernandes just does. Bruno Fernandes. There was one moment where I'm like, you're a midfielder, you're center midfielder. You had the ball, you pinged it, lost the ball, you won the ball back. We get the ball back to you, you ping it again, you lose it. And then it's just like, yo, we can't play with you. And then it's like your partner is not like, you're stranded off wherever you are. Your partner can't move left to right. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, I just felt like it was a bad combo. I felt like it was one of Bruno's worst games for me. But no, I would have liked to see the manager take a little bit more risks. Cornelius, you said that you saw some change in Maresca talking in his press conferences, and I did too, man. I felt like this dude came in fresh, and full of ideas, and this is the way I want to play. We're gonna do this, and now it's like, bro, it's just like survival. Even like the tone of his, what he's saying, and his whole vibe is just off, man, and it's just. I don't know. It's obviously the environment, right? Because, all these guys that we've gotten were all talented before they got here, but for whatever reason. But I did want to say, you can blame the manager for this and that. I think for us to be in a position where we only have youth players on our bench is ridiculous. Because let me tell you this. What we saw today is what we have. Ugarte will be out for 3 weeks. Collier out for the season. Evans out till March. Martinez out for the season. Luke Shaw,
Who knows?
Mainu out for the season. Mason Mount, it says late February, but
Who knows?
I don't know. And Ahmad is out for the season. So the only players that are really coming back into this mix are Igarte, Luke Shaw, and Mason Mount, hopefully.
Johnny
Those are the
Evans.
only- and Johnny Evans, hopefully. But Johnny Evans is 30, how old is he? He's 30, 30 39, 37 years old. So,
37. Jeez.
you know. So but yeah, man, I think that it's very irresponsible. We had a very poor January transfer window. The fact that we weakened our team. How do you get rid of Rashford, Anthony, and Malacia, and you only bring in a left wing back? It's crazy, bro. They're like, you got to back the manager, and we're not doing that. I think that it's a direct reflection off of the poor we weakened our team with no plan on like bringing in reinforcements. Say what you want about Rashford or Anthony, their bodies though. We could have used more bodies, more senior players today, and I don't know. It's a direct reflection off of what's going on upstairs.
Yeah, I can agree. I do like to say that the one bright side of your team is Dorgu, man. I think he'll be good for years to come, especially with this manager. He more than passes the eye test. Good defender, like wants to attack. He's solid. He's solid. But yeah, the rest of these guys, man. I mean, Garnacho, man, it's just he missed that, and I'm like, bro, how do you maybe a couple minutes before that have a shot on target that you almost score on, and then you get closer and you sky it?
Yeah, bro.
Bro.
Garnacho.
It's like it's just not the time for that. You can't. You're too good to not put it at least on frame, bro. You can not score, but put it on frame at least.
Yeah, bro.
You sky it. Man. I mean, I watched Ruben's, result, or no, it's not result. His what's it called? His post match interview, and he came out. He's just like, they scored and we didn't. And honestly, that's exactly how the match felt. It's you guys had so many opportunities to score. And yes, Vicario made some saves, but also you guys had some clear chances. Some very good half chances too, but also a couple clear chances where it's like you just have to do better. And I guess no one could do better. I mean, I think it's kind of on Emerin, like, why didn't he's down 1-0? He doesn't bring on another attacker until
the 90th
minute. Like Cheeto Obi, shout out him. He comes on, but like
he doesn't even to get a sniff. There was a corner that lasted a minute and a half, and then they had the ball.
Yeah,
you see what he said in his post game too? He said, "Oh, I brought Cheeto on because he gives us a different dynamic and attack and." Ladder mode. No, that's what he said. He said all these things that he's good at, all these attributes on why he made the decision on playing him. But then it's like you said, why are you playing him in 90th minute?
Yes, minute, yeah.
And that's why I'm saying it's cat, because if you really believed you were going to bring him on to do that, bringing him on for 3 minutes so you can put him at the end of your presser is not.
Yeah,
bro. Like if you're watching the match, he didn't play. He got on.
Mm-hmm.
There was a corner, and then for the other minute and a half, they were defending. So, in what way was he able to affect the game? And that's why I don't know. I do agree with y'all. Like he's in survival mode, and I think when you're in survival mode, you just gotta start throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks. I mean, clearly you guys had no players over the age of 20 on your bench, which means what? Yeah, you have a lot of inexperience, but you have youth, you have athleticism, you have speed, you have guys that are willing to go out there and prove themselves. This is a 1-0 match. All match. I'm looking at you guys like you could probably still go get a point, bro. And for whatever reason, he was just a little timid today. I don't know.
All right. My last thing though is, I mean, you're 15th now. You're not going to get relegated. If you get relegated, that would be something crazy. But I mean, what are your true, realistic expectations for the rest of the season?
Europa.
Because
That's the thing, bro.
even all these competitions you're in, without the depth of a lineup, if you don't have the guys to actually win these games, you're gonna get kicked out pretty soon. So, what are your realistic expectations of the for the rest of the season?
I mean, like you said, I don't think that we're going to get relegated. I think that I think it's crazy that we are where we are in the table. But for me, I think again going after Europa League has to be the main target, and which is why again going back into this January transfer window, it's like, okay, we made it in Europa in spite of the season we had. Like we were undefeated in Europa League. Like if we make Champions League, the money that we're going to generate from just qualifying for Champions League should be more than motivating for you to, I feel like, I don't know, I guess take the risk and like bringing in more reinforcements. But for me, the target is still Europa League. I just think that it's going to be incredibly hard now to do it without Ahmad and
Not
man,
a healthy
how are we
lineup.
good
Yeah.
without those two? Like, obviously, you don't wish injury upon anybody, but damn, it had to be them two. Like, you could have taken,
Jude,
anybody. Like, literally, you could have taken anybody, bro. You took both of
uh,
them, which one of them is our best player, and it's like, so yeah. I mean, obviously, I would like to win FA Cup. I think it would be a morale booster for the team, but Europa League has to be the target. That's the most impactful thing for us because we don't have money. So qualifying for Champions League is gonna help that. So like that's what we have to do.
all right.
I get it. That's a fair point, man. Team that is already qualified for Champions League and seem to be doing well so far, even while they're tending to their players who are injured. Arsenal with another win this weekend, 2-0 over Leicester. Very, very strong win. Again, shout out to the young boys, Ethan Wanieri and Miles Lewis Skelly. And I'll let Gabriel talk about the game, but I did want to shout out Robbie Errol and Tim Howard because after the match, they took it upon themselves to big up those two individuals, specifically Miles Lewis Skelly, because of all the scrutiny he was getting last week after his taunt or his celebration that some deemed was a mockery and taking things a little bit too far, and Robbie Earl, straight up was just like, I want to shout out, those two young boys for the games that they had. They both played exceptionally well. And, Marino is going to be the one that gets the highlight, but it's really on the back of those two boys. And Tim Howard ushered, the same sentiments. And I respect them for that, especially during Black History Month, they're broadcast all over the US. For those guys to have gotten the scrutiny they got, specifically Lewis Skelly, in the last couple of weeks, and for him to kind of just take it on the shoulder and bounce back with another fantastic match, it just goes to show, that one, the locker room has these guys, which is good to see. You could tell that, the team has definitely come around them, but it's just dope to see how they emerged under all the scrutiny because you don't see that all the time, especially from young players. And Arsenal is just winning, bro. Just keeping on and doing what they have to do to win. And Liverpool did win this week, but that 7-point gap, it stayed 7. It's. I think Arne Slot said in his post game presser, he said Arsenal in their last 15 games have, I believe, 10 wins and 5 draws, and since then that gap of 7 points has stayed 7 points. So, whether Liverpool think that they're doing their thing right now, Arsenal ain't going nowhere. And there's still a lot of time left in the year. So, I don't know. Just another great match from Arsenal. Gabriel, how do you feel about it?
I mean, honestly, I don't feel like we played that well. I didn't get to watch the match in complete entirety, but it just goes to show what we need. I mean, I hate to harp on it continuously, but our front line is just so depleted with injuries now, but also just with quality in general. And we're lacking quality up top, and Yeah, I mean, shout out Lewis Kelly and Nwaneri for sure. Lewis Kelly definitely got us out of a very sticky situation that would have led us to probably get scored on and go down 1-0 away from home when we need points, especially on the week that Liverpool gets 3 points as well. And Nwaneri, assisting for the first goal to Moreno. This kid is just honestly it's kind of just crazy to see. I've been hearing about this kid since he was 12, 13 years old, and now kind of seeing him on the first team and balling is really crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I'm happy. I'm happy that he was able to get the assist. But yeah, Mikel Moreno, man. I guess this is going to be our striker moving forward. Because we don't have any strikers right now, and Sterling up there he didn't look great.
Raheem.
Yeah, I guess it's been talked about around our training ground that Mikel Moreno is like a good finisher in training and stuff like that. So,
okay.
this is a rumor. I don't know how true this is.
Okay.
It's probably better than Havertz, man.
I don't know
love
how true
bro,
this.
and it's crazy how they've been spinning it, bro. As soon as he scored these 2 goals, apparently Marino is a good finisher, and he has the same. He has the same physique as Kai Havertz, bro. One of the commentators or announcers even said that like having Marino up there instead of Kai might be a better he might be better suited than Kai. It was like the verbiage was so crazy, fam. For this guy who just came in, it's like he's already the striker they've been waiting for. And I'm just like,
this is Arteta's plan. This is our Arteta, yeah.
I don't agree with any of those sentiments of what they were saying. I think he did score 2 really good goals. They're really great finishes. The header was great. The finish for the second goal, I mean, it's not an easy finish, for being honest. And just passed it, in the goal. So I mean, there are 2 great finishes, but it's like there's only so long that we can sustain this. Like we're getting to the point now where we're not breaking down, but we're 1 or 2 injuries away from being in a really tough spot if we want to be able to compete, bro. And I don't want to rush Saka back because I don't want to rush him back. And we still have other players to get healthy, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know what our physios are, but like, bro, I'm not blaming them. I'm just like, we need to get healthy if we want to continue to compete. Because yes, Merino came in and got 2 goals, but this is Leicester we're talking about. They're fighting relegation. This is not going to happen when we have to see Chelsea in a couple of weeks. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not sustainable. Like, we didn't play well today in the first half. We played better, in the second half, and we had a spark from the bench come on, and quality just took over. But that's not going to happen every week. So, it sucks that we didn't get anyone in the summer, just as a reinforcement somewhere. It would have been really, really nice to get someone in the summer, but we're past that now. This is the team that we have moving forward, and losing Kai Havertz for the rest of the year is going to be atrocious because he covers so much ground and does a lot of dirty work for us and does a lot of work for us. So, I mean, we're at this point, we're really down to bare bones until we get some guys back. I'm happy Ben White is back as well. He's back training, so at least we have some reinforcements. But I'm just. We've bolstered our defense. Our defense is where it needs to be. I'm really now looking at we need to buy attacking players, and I know it's expensive, but we need to buy attacking players. It's a must. It's a must to make this team not only make this team better, but to push players that are comfortable in their positions right now. The thing that we always talked about with City is like, City has 3 players in this left wing role that can start. So if you want to start here, you're gonna have to be in your P's and Q's all the time. And that's even being in their rotation, you know what I mean? Because they still rotate players pretty often. So it's like we need players that are going to continue to push the envelope, and we neglected to do that in January. And we really need to do that offensively because we have defensively. We brought in Calafiori, but Miles Lewis Skelly is our starter. We didn't know he was going to emerge like this, but here he is doing his thing. But we still have reinforcements there. We have reinforcements for Saliba. We have reinforcements at right back now. Like we have reinforcements in our back line. I'm tired of hearing talk of we're thinking about buying another keeper. We don't need another keeper, bro. I'm tired of wasting money on keepers and all things that we don't need right now. Yeah, I'm hearing. No, I'm so serious, bro. I've seen like valid reports of us about to sign a keeper. I'm so pissed off because I've seen 5 keepers in the last 3 years. For what?
Moreno, you have Moreno, so you don't need him, I guess. Yeah.
We like for what, man? We
Now you have
need
3 strikers.
we need another. Actually, maybe we don't need another 10 because Ranieri can play there. But we need wingers and strikers. That is what we need, bro. And I don't have time for an academy youth to come and figure it out. We need it now. That's it. Outside of that, great game. Well, not great game, but happy to get a dub. We move, and please let's figure out how to get a result for the next match because we can't afford to drop points. It's just that simple. We're in survival mode with the players that we have, and we can't afford to drop points.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you rush Saka back.
Yeah,
I mean, we will. We will.
Don't be surprised.
I'm not even gonna be surprised. We probably will, but we shouldn't. I'm not gonna advocate for it.
Yeah.
But we have some tough matches coming up. Like we see West Ham at home, but then we have Forest and United away, and then Chelsea at home. Like we have to get through this period. Get with points. We have to.
Yeah,
we have to.
This Leicester win was huge for you guys.
Yeah,
we
needed it.
This win. Because who knows? I don't know if the next couple of games you would be able to just get away with a Merino at striker, but
yeah, and
he has the size to compete up top. So who knows? It might work. Who knows?
Yeah, and he can cover a lot of ground too. Like he's used to running a lot, so he covers a lot of ground. But I mean, it's just not what we need as a striker. Obviously, honestly, I need some of these players like Sterling. I need you to step up and act like you've played football in the Prem before. Like,
that's why
I don't know what it's going to take to get these your confidence back. But it's like, bro,
that's a 13-year vet.
Yeah,
you're asking a lot, bro.
No, but it's like, bro. But hold on,
he should be able to give you something.
Hold on, he's 30 years old.
Yeah, maybe 30, not 13, but probably 12, 11-year vet.
But he's 30 years old though. Why? You should still be able to provide something, bro. Something.
Yeah, he should be able to give him something.
You can't. It's sad because we brought you in honestly for reinforcements. Like, oh, maybe you can get your confidence up over here to change the scenery. We need some other attack options anyway. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, try to save him.
And this is what you repay me with, bro. Like this is
it's like Chelsea and Sancho. Yeah, it happens.
I need this. This is what we needed you for reinforcements, and we need you to come in and put on performances, bro. We're at a pivotal time in the season. These are when championships are won and lost. Because if Liverpool start losing and we start gaining, then there's a momentum shift in the season. If we start losing matches and Liverpool keep winning, there's a momentum change in the season. Like it's that simple. So we need everyone until we get healthy and get some guys back. That the ones that are available to come back this season, we need everyone to be their absolute best. We need you to be your best for a month. For a month, we need you guys to lock in, be your best, get results until we get some of these players back, and they can hopefully ease the weight. You know what I mean? But if we can get through this period with points, we'll be fine because we'll welcome players back. We'll welcome players back.
If you guys get through this period and go unscathed and win your games, I will be very surprised. But
me too.
I think you still be able to pick up points. You guys are good enough. And this is why I wasn't surprised when Maresca wanted to let Sterling go. I mean, Sterling is one guy that I personally feel like has never fooled me from day one since I laid eyes on him. He's just never fooled me. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna take away everything he's done. He deserves everything he's done. He's given the game a lot, but he's at a point of his career that I'm just like, he's not a top Premier League player anymore. He's just not. So
I just think that it's crazy, man. It's like how close you guys are, and I'm looking. I was happy for you guys when you guys scored because it's like, man, in spite of all you have going on, in the sense of you lost Saka, you lost your starting striker, and
both of them.
And
Yeah.
now it's like you still managed to win. It's like
You get results, exactly.
I don't know. It's like kind of
You
like
can't hate on that.
Yeah, but it's like goals in peculiar places, bro. Calafiori bailed us out this season. Like, bro, we are finding goals in peculiar places.
I was saying that to say this, going back to our earlier conversation about the USL and the MLS conversations. It's just like only American owners, man. Only American owners are like when you look at all the American owners, it's almost like I don't know, like what, like they just like they're not trying to win. It's just about sustaining. It's like Liverpool's having a miraculous season for me. You didn't invest nothing. This is literally the same team that struggled last year, and they seem to be so far the best team. And in January, they're in first place. Didn't even like, hey, we need reinforcements. No, we're just gonna rock. We didn't spend think about how they're feeling right now. We didn't spend a dime, guys. And we're in first place. So now no one can tell us.
Yeah.
And it's just like only American owners, bro.
Yeah.
There's no way Salah can continue like that. If he does, kudos, bro. There's no way he can continue like this.
He's gonna break. He's gonna break. I don't know what the record is for
36?
30. Was it his record?
Haaland. I think Haaland said it.
Oh, Haaland. Nah, I don't think he'll get. Where's he at? 27?
No, he's at like, yeah.
He's at 24. Nah, I don't think he'll. Haaland that season. Haaland was racking up 4 a game, yo.
On the reg.
Bro, he had like 10 goals in his first 3 games.
Speaking of, this is a great transition. Gabriel, if you don't have anything else to say about Arsenal. So we were having a conversation on Saturday about obviously. So let me preface with this. Obviously, a few weeks ago, I said that Omar Marmoush was a world-class player. You guys all disagreed.
Yeah.
So fast forward to Saturday, we were talking about how Erling Haaland, or when was Erling Haaland a world-class player? For me, I thought he was a world-class player at Borussia Dortmund. But I guess for some, he needed to come in the Premier League and score at Turf Moor to show you that he was world class. So
Turf Moor.
I would love to. I mean, it happened, but I would love to hear. I was just asking more so just because we have these conversations of world class. We all follow the Premier League. Who to y'all? I want to hear a world class player from each of you guys. Who is a world class player to you from the Premier League? Who are you taking? Because we seem to be like, oh, it's this sacred thing nowadays. It's like there are no world class players. You know what I'm saying? So like, where are they? I'm trying to find them. Like, where are they at in the Premier League? Give me some world class players. We can start
right now in the Premier League. For me, there isn't a lot of them. There's a handful of world class players in the Prem. I mean, I think right now the undoubted, easily go-to one. You could go. What do you call it? Virgil van Dijk. You could go Mohamed Salah. Haaland is up there.
So those 3 are world class. Would you say Trent Alexander-Arnold's world class?
Yeah, I would say Trent is a world class player. Absolutely.
Okay. Saliba.
So I'll give Saliba. Saliba, even Gabriel. You
I
know,
was gonna
I
say
would say I would,
Gabriel's
I
I would
think
say
Gabriel's up
Gabriel
there.
as well
Yeah,
too.
world
So
class player.
let's go team by team.
Saka. Let's
Oh,
go Saka. Throw Saka in there
Saka,
as well.
yes, of course, of course. Odegaard, is
Nah,
Odegaard world
not
class?
for me. Not for me.
Some will say yes.
Nah,
I've always
not for
been
me. Not for me.
I've always been iffy on Cat, but
Gabriel, what do you
I
think? I'm curious.
Not
What do
for me.
you think?
Odegaard, no.
I I won't say yes yet. Because he's not holding it down like he's supposed to. He's an amazing play. He is an amazing player. Um Honestly,
I think he is. I think he is. I think
you might have to throw him in there
he's so talented. Man.
because no honestly this is a point I didn't make when I was talking about Arsenal. He's like I don't even want to make this comparison, low-key, like because it's not really a comparison, but how he dives people up and we just miss because we don't have someone capable enough of scoring is how like Ocho used to dime people up and they just used to like miss. And I see it so often. Like Odegaard will play a great pass and someone be in on goal, or Martinelli straight to the keeper, straight to the keeper, miss. Like it's actually ridiculous, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm
no,
I'm gonna
Odegaard,
go. I'm gonna say
Odegaard's world
yes. I'm
class.
gonna say yes because if we had a Haaland or a Isak or an Ollie Watkins, bro, like if Chris Wood, literally, I'm so serious. We got a Chris Wood. I'm sure we'd have more goals. Seriously, but yeah, I would throw him up there.
I think talent wise, he has world class talent. I just don't think he is world class for me. Just doesn't.
You're the older guy here, so it's okay.
So we gone through everybody on Arsenal. Arsenal, right? David Raya, I guess. I don't know. David Raya, yeah.
No.
Timber, everybody else. Good players. I think y'all got
Good
some
players. They're not world class.
Liverpool, Arsenal, we did. Okay, Chelsea. Who do you guys have? Cole Palmer. Is Cole Palmer world class?
It's probably Cole Palmer and Caicedo. That's probably it, really.
Caicedo.
Oh,
yeah, I think Caicedo's a world class talent.
I think he's up there. Really good. He's
and that's the thing. Are we calling them
maybe the best? Actually, if Gravenberg, actually, is Gravenberg world class?
No,
if Caicedo,
Caicedo and Gravenberch, I don't know about that yet.
I was gonna say I don't think either of them. I don't think either of them are world class because all right. So and this is what we got started. So world class talent doesn't mean they're does not mean they're world class right now. Because I think they're like they're world class talents, but for me, world class you have to sustain that level of ability. Over time. And I'm not necessarily saying it has to be a long period of time, but even with Saka, it took a couple years before we were like, all right, Saka's world class. Because even for us, we're like, yo, he's talented, but like, can he continue to do this? And then we saw him do it for England, and then we saw him come back and do it year after year, and then we saw his numbers start to jump. So I think like now we feel comfortable calling Saka world class. And look, Saka's still young, but for me, you could be a world-class talent, but can you sustain and continue to be at that level? That's for me what it is. It takes maybe.
When was he world-class for you then, Saka?
I would probably say all that. Yeah, after the Euro, I would say that whole year, because I saw what he did on Arsenal into the Euros, and the level didn't drop, and then he came back the next year, and his level was still there. I'm like, okay, no, Saka's world-class. He's been doing this now for a full calendar year. We've seen him play at this high level. And so for me, that's why I'm just like, for me, some of these talents are up there, but like even like somebody like Yamal, we can look at him and be like, he's just head and shoulders above everyone else. Yeah, he's world class for sure. But I think even when we look at some of these guys now, it's like for Gabriel, because I think Gabriel is world class now, but it took a second for me to be like, is he really that good, or is he just look good standing next to this person and that person and that person? You know, so I don't know.
I think a perfect one to segue into that world class talent and world class player will be Marmoush. Perfect example.
You think?
I
You
mean,
think he's a world class talent?
I think he has the talent to be a world class player. I just don't think he's a world class player right now. Because you can't give me 2 great seasons and then I think you're world class. I just can't do that. Like, yes, you did it in the Bundesliga. I want to see you, okay, do it in a different environment and see if you can keep up that level of consistency. If he's able to do it this season, I don't doubt it moving forward. I can entertain that conversation. But for somebody who just, a few years ago was a nobody, and I'm not saying we have to know you from, when you're, what you do, what called, a young player. We don't have to know you to, consider you a world class talent. But still, we need some level of consistency.
Because
And
yeah.
your Bundesliga alone is not enough.
Because
Timo Werner terrorized the Bundesliga, came to the Prem, and was a nobody. I mean,
Yeah, but like you don't think that. I think this is where we're separate. You don't look at him now and think like he's a little bit different from everybody.
no, that's what
No,
I'm
I
saying.
do.
I
I
think the
do.
potential is there. Yeah,
So
he
for
definitely has
example,
a high ceiling.
Because Newcastle, I was one of the best teams in the Premier League, and right,
bro, I don't know why you hate them
it's
so
like
much, but
no, I'm just no. I'm telling you, I'm saying what you're saying. This is
no,
one of the
but
best teams in the Premier League, anyhow. And like we have, so I mean to get a hat trick, yes, hat tricks are a dime a dozen. I'm not saying
no,
he's
but
gonna have.
this would be like my example, right? Because I think we can kind of agree on this. Leroy Sané, when we would agree he was a world class talent coming up, playing for City, going to Bayern, but we wouldn't call him world class even at his heyday. But coming up through the ranks, he was a world class talent. We could say he was one of those star boys who were like, "Yo, Leroy Sané could be one of them ones." Did he pan out to be world class? No. Ousmane Dembele, another one who was a world class talent. He was a star boy.
You don't think
Now,
he's world class?
I don't think
No,
he's world class.
no.
This and let me say
Ousmane Dembele. You don't
no.
think
Let me say what I'm
Ousmane
saying, bro.
Dembele?
Because
Ability is availability.
the ability is there, right? We've all kind of been like, yo, Dembele could be that guy for France. It could be him and Mbappe running the show. We've always said that,
Yeah.
but his injury has been a little injury prone. He hasn't been able to play elite at that level for long.
When
This is
needed, he's not there.
this year on PSG, Mbappe's gone, right? This is the first year where we're looking like, yo, Dembouz is actually like balling, and we're starting to look over there again, like, yo, is he really like this again? And think about it, he's only 26, he's only 27,
Okay,
he's
that's
still
fair.
not
I'll
old.
give you that.
So that's why I'm just like, these guys have to prove they can maintain that level and consistently play at what we expect you to be at for me to be like, yo, okay, he's world class now. And that's where I rest with Marmoush. Like, bro, I like the Bundesliga. I think this guy is very good. But for me to just slap world class because now everyone's aware of him and he's scoring goals now, like, I ain't on that.
No, bro. For me, I look at him and I'm like, he has. I want to elaborate on my definition. I don't think it's just you have to be top 10 in your position because I think I think if you're top 10 in your position, I think that's a great start because there's a lot of fucking teams in Europe. So for you to be a top 10 striker, because typically there's like 4 or 5 of them that are automatically we're going to put in there. So again, that's a good start. But when I look at him, I'm like, technical ability, you have it. The physicality, you have it. You're faster than everybody. You're stronger than everybody. You're African too, so I think you already have a little bit of an edge compared to some of your peers. And it's like, and I'm not trying to gas it, but when you look at even the hat trick he scored, it's like they're different goals. The third goal he scored as like it was a tidy finish. He shows you he can chip the ball. And I mean, obviously, the second goal, I think there was a little bit of deflection on that. But hey, I'm gonna let it rip every now and then. So for me, all around, I think he's just a really good player. I think he's a lot better than a lot of guys that we watch week to week. I just think that I don't know. I think the more you see him, you'll see it, man. But to me, like I look at him and I'm like, you're different from all these other guys.
So, do you think Christian Pulisic is world class?
Oh. Cornelius. That's a good.
I'm just curious.
Question.
Personally, I'm just curious.
That's a good question.
I'm just curious.
Pulisic, world class. Hold on. I'll answer your question. I would like an answer from all of you guys, but I'll answer your question. I would say I'd say no. See, world class. I don't. I think he's. I don't know. Is he a world class talent? I think he's
because I think he's a world class talent, and I wouldn't call him world class.
You think you will call him world class?
No, I will not. I think he's a world class talent.
No, I agree with you. He's a talent. I don't think he's world class. He's Omar Marmoush is way better than him.
I wasn't comparing him, bro. I was just strictly asking you a question.
Okay, yeah.
There's nothing behind that. It ain't nothing behind that.
Yeah. No disrespect to anyone.
Yeah, no disrespect. I was just to see as to where you know.
Yeah. I think he's a world class talent, but I don't think that he's world class.
I was just curious.
That's fair.
He would a player like him. He would need to have a moment for me. Like he would need to have like, I win the Copa America, or I take the U.S. men's national team. We make it out of the quarterfinals.
So you think he has? You think he has to do it for country and not club? Because I mean that Milan team is good, but if you think he's a leading scorer on.
Yeah. The only reason why I say that is because I like for his national team, I feel like he takes on a different role where he has to kind of shoulder a little bit more. Yeah,
responsibility.
That would because to me, very honestly, and this is like I'm not comparing these two, right? But I look at someone look at Landon Donovan, right? Played in the MLS his whole season. But for whatever reason, it seemed as if like when you took because he played at Everton. I don't know if you guys remember that. Yeah. He had a loan spell at Everton. Played very well. International stages, whenever it was up against the big countries, he looked like he could he was still
play anywhere. Yeah,
he was still hurt. So I don't know. Like when I look at someone like him, like would I consider him world class? I mean. because when then I would probably say
done it on a world stage like
you've done it on the. That's why I was saying with what Christian Pulisic like he would need to be like that, like Donovan is okay, like people knew who Landon Donovan was.
No, you're right. I was just curious. I was really curious. It wasn't.
What do y'all think, Cornelia, Gabriel, and Mike?
No, I don't think he's world class.
No.
I don't think
Gabriel don't rock with no Americans. So
that's not true. That's not true.
Talent. Is there any other world class players in the Premier League? We went through Chelsea, United. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. Do y'all think anybody? Yeah.
Are United?
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody throughout the league? Is Isak? Anybody else?
Isak is close, but again, I need to see him consistently.
Isak is world class to me. Isak is world class to me.
He's one of the best.
He's different. He's different.
He's close to me. He's close. He's very. It's kind of how I felt about Saka a couple years ago. Like he's right there, but like I ain't ready to call him world class yet.
Nah, but see, but that's the thing. So then, who is world class like today? Then, because it seems as if we're so protective of this word.
But I am because if we're
but none of you guys are telling me anybody who is besides.
I mean that's what I'm saying. If we're looking, but it's kind of like I don't because I do hold high class to a world class to a high class. Like I'm not just about to go call you just because you're very good. Like there are a lot of very good players, but are they world class? No. Like that's why there's only 12 Eastern All-Stars and 12 Western All-Stars. Like,
okay,
there's a lot of very, very good players, but are they world class? Like, do we think this is the player that we hold to this? No, Isak is very good, and no shade, but is he world class yet? We ready to call him? Cool. If we're doing that, then I guess there are a lot of players we could slip in there. But for me, it's like
I'm just wondering who do you? Okay, so let me ask.
I think it's ability. I think it's a lot of things for me, but it's ability. Can you sustain that ability? And have you done something on a world level stage? I'm talking for your country or club, whether that be AFCON, Copa America, World Cup, Euros. Show me that you can do something. Show me you can carry a team. Show me you can score. Show me you can get that game winner. So you have to have done something on a world stage or be consistent at this level for me to call you world class. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of great players, but
so before we close up, before we transition into shout outs and all that, let's take away Yamal, the guys on Real Madrid. Let me get 3 world class players from you guys, each of you guys. I just want to know who to you guys.
Just asked us.
But nobody answered. Nobody. I mean, Mike answered. Mike
we ran through. I said Gabriel. I mean, let me think across all leagues then. Like across all leagues, or we still
all leagues. I just want to know. Again, this word is
Musiala is a world class player.
Harry Kane. We've all talked about Harry Kane even before. Harry Kane, consistent at a high level.
Gabriel, give me somebody. Yeah, so we know the Real Madrid.
I'm trying not to think in the Prem. I'm trying to go outside.
Any player, any position.
Antoine Griezmann,
the guy that's just the striker. He's a world class talent. He's a world class player. I'll give it to him. The Argentinian guy.
Julian Alvarez.
He's a world class player.
Yeah, Julian. I would call Julian Alvarez world class. We know who
would you call Ollie Watkins? I would too. Would you call Ollie Watkins?
No.
No. Oh, no.
And not for nothing, Julian Alvarez barely makes it for me. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I haven't really seen. I know he's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's the consistency for me. He gets the benefit of the doubt because he's on that Argentinian team. Okay. But there's a lot of players on there that aren't world class. So it's
this might be a hot take, but I try to think out of the Prem, but go ahead, Mike.
No. I was just giving Alvarez. He's done it in the Prem. He's doing it in La Liga, and he did it on the biggest stage in the World Cup. There's no doubt.
If you look at his last 2 years, you can't say he hasn't been consistently playing at a high level.
Yeah.
This might be a shout, but I'm calling John Stones world class.
I would agree.
See, I actually don't mind that.
I
can give you that one.
I'm just trying to see who.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably 30 to 45 players maybe in the world that are world class.
See, even with let's say Cole Palmer, I'm not comfortable.
I don't call him world class. I don't.
I'm not comfortable. Even though I can see, he has a high ceiling, but I still want to see it. I want to see you conquer something. I want to see you actually lead this team. Since it's, he's the Chelsea guy now. Well, I want to see him actually make something happen. We can be like, okay, we won this on the back of Cole Palmer. It doesn't have to be like that, but I want to see something like that.
And it's no disrespect to a lot of these players, especially Marmoush. I ain't trying to call him not world class just for the sake of he's not a Prem player or whatever. But kind of like what I said about All Stars. Every year there are some snubs, and we get mad. Oh, why didn't this guy make the game? But it's bro, your team is in 12th place. I know you scoring 30 points and you have 12 assists, but it's
it ain't doing nothing.
It's not translating, into wins. So it's for me, I don't know. I just hold that world class a little bit different than maybe others might.
Yeah, I just think consistency is the biggest one. And can I depend on you? Are you the guy your team looks at? And when they look at you in those moments, you come through. Those are the main things. And I feel like when you do that consistently enough, we can put you up there.
Well, that's good. Good stuff. Let's close out, transitioning into let's do shout outs and then predictions. You guys got any shout outs? I'll go first. Go ahead.
I was gonna say shout out Lewis Skelly, man. I just have to just do it one more time, bro, because he really saved us this week. Truly did save us this weekend. Also, man, shout out Cunha. Cunha has just been balling, regardless of all the noise and stuff like that. He scored a great goal this weekend. So
Yeah.
Contract year.
Yeah, man.
he got a new contract.
No, he
so-
got it.
Yeah.
He got it already.
And I feel like the contract he has now is like for the next contract. It's not even for this contract.
Yeah.
Or when he leaves.
Because they slapped a release clause on him, right? 62?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's not even that high.
It's not even that high. Yeah, I think that's why I remember I saw that. I was like, y'all have to ask for at least 80. Like, walk away with 70, 75, but at least like 60 is not that much.
Yeah.
I actually did that right now.
It makes a difference for a team like Wolves. But
Yeah.
I don't have any shout outs for real, to be honest.
My shout outs are actually on a crosstown rival, man, Bournemouth. I just want to shout out, Semenyo, Tavernier, Clivert, since it's Black History Month, just to shout out my brothers, man. They have been quietly and now not so quietly just balling, bro. Like Antoine Semenyo, like Ghana.
If you can only do this in the national team, man.
Hey, Ghana, I'm telling y'all right now, go ahead and wrap it up for the IU brothers. Just go ahead and give them their little service. Give them their flowers and go get with these young cats. Kudos, Semenyo. I see y'all balling, bro, and there are more. Ghana got some ballers, bro. If y'all could just quit with the politics and go around these 24, 20 these young guys, y'all could be very scary, like very, very scary.
Number 9 and number 10, you already
like
it already has the last name on it.
I'm just looking at what they doing in the Prem, and I know Kudus isn't having the greatest year, but I'm still like, bro, like these two playing off each other.
It's just translate, but it doesn't.
Jordan Ayus have been having a good year.
He is. Yeah. No disrespect. It's just I don't want to see a 35-year-old. When we have these guys, we got some men there that want to play ball. That's all I'm saying.
Did y'all see that Asamoah John video?
Yeah. We gotta be better, man. We have to be better. He said no one showed up. Imagine someone like him, like played at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? It's like they didn't even show up. They said they're coming now. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh yeah, they're coming now. Of course they're coming now." So they won't be here for another 30 to 45 minutes. Nah, but that's funny. I wanted to shout out. My shout out goes to Bill Hamid, signing for Miami FC in the USL in the championship. We're all going to be rocking with Miami this year. Talk about someone who deserves it, man. And you picked a great landing spot. You're in the 305. So I don't know. Maybe we make a podcast trip out to Miami, man. Catch a game, man. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Come rock with you, Bill. But no, shout out to him, man. And it's gonna be a fun USL season, MLS season.
MLS season starts this weekend, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man, it's here.
Yeah, there's a few new. I was gonna make a post. New faces and new places. There's a bunch of new guys in the league. Y'all know Irving Lozano's in the league?
Really?
He plays for San Diego.
Wow.
Yep. Nick Delatorre.
Yeah,
he's in San Diego. Serge Aurier, he's about to come to San Diego.
Oh, wow.
Serge Aurier.
I'm coming. He comes to Cincinnati.
We need to get him.
Yeah, we need to cut it. Yeah.
Serge Aurier, that's OG right there, man.
Jonathan Bamba.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, Wilfred Zaha. Yeah, man. It's about Joseph.
What's his name? Miguel Almiron. We talked about Almiron.
Yeah, bro. And they got somebody else too. I don't know. I forgot his name, but Atlanta got somebody else too.
Yeah,
they broke the record for him too. Cincinnati got Denke, the striker. So that would be.
You let your guy go.
Yeah, Luciano Acosta is now in FC Dallas. But we're about to sign Evander from Portland Timbers.
If y'all haven't looked up Evander, I'm calling it now. I'm telling y'all, the best team in Ohio is Cincinnati. You guys losing what's his name? Cucho? Who would have thought 2025 Cucho Hernandez and Anthony are teammates? Here we are.
Yeah, Anthony scored again, by the way, today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
banger. This one was a.
That was gonna be my second shout out. Shout out my dog, man. Shout out. They all laughing at you. I'm laughing with you at them because now all of a sudden everybody cares about Anthony. All of a sudden Fabrizio starts. Oh, another goal and assist today for Anthony, and Real Betis's win today. Yeah, right, man. Shout out to him, man. Labeled as one of the biggest flops in England, but that's my dog.
All right, he's playing at this level now, so he's good.
One man's United trash is another man's treasure.
It's just incredible how it's why is it so instant though?
Like, that's the thing.
As soon as you leave, it's
even Rashford, free kick smacks the post. He's looking like he's back.
Did you guys watch that game? What did you think of? Did y'all see anything of him?
I saw the highlights. I didn't get to see the full match.
Yes,
so.
I watched.
But and I know we didn't get to talk about a lot of other teams, but for Villa to be up a man at 45 minutes plus and have to resort to scraping a draw at home is kind of telling. But we see not that's I guess a segue into predictions. We see them this week, like I said at Villa Park.
It's gonna be a tough game.
It's gonna be a very tough game.
If we get a result, though, it changes a lot.
It does. I think it'll be 1-1. I don't know where our goal will come from, but I think we might sneak a penalty or something. We're gonna need we're gonna need everything.
I think we'll catch Villa 2-1. I think we'll catch it.
I might go Rashford goal or assist.
Man, that's what I'm thinking too.
Rashford goal or assist.
Man,
you guys are disrespectful. Come on.
Nah, Rashford loves to go versus Chelsea. Remember the free kick he scored on you guys? It was like 30, 40 yards.
Weak ass free kick.
Who was in goal?
Come on, you know him.
Kappa the keeper. Kappa the keeper.
Kepa has the best save percentage in the league this year.
Yeah.
You can't make these things up. You can't make these things up. Chelsea sends players out and they do well.
Bro, it's just like a curse, man. It seems like our teams just be doing that.
Yeah.
We see West Ham at home.
You're good, man.
Fully expect 3 points. Just move.
I was gonna say West Ham. I'm not gonna say it. I would say it after we get off.
Our next game is next Saturday. We kick off the next match day, 7:30. So I'll be up early. We're away from home. We're at Goodison Park. You know what's funny about
Everton money line? Everton money line for sure.
The thing about these games is when we play them home and away,
Moyes revenge tour.
You just never know what the team is going to be like on the return leg. And my God, Everton is not a team that I want to face right now. Honestly,
man.
I was going to shout out David Moyes too. He's done an incredible job. From tying Liverpool the way that they did, the place is rocking. I don't know if you guys watched that game, but I got goosebumps.
It was crazy.
Shout out to Tarkowski. What a goal too. So what a moment, man. That's a goosebumps moment. Definitely pandemonium. But for us to go there, oh yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, man. I actually think it's gonna be tough. I actually think we're gonna sneak a draw though. I think definitely if you're gonna bet on anything, I would put Beto. Beto goal. Beto's definitely gonna score. I can already see it. Yeah,
he's been playing too.
Yeah, but I think we'll get a draw away from home. So only one game this week. So hopefully we can get some people back.
All right.
This is the first time. Also, before we get out, this is the first time in like a couple months that everyone's on even matches.
Oh, really?
Everyone's on 25. This is like the true table.
Finally.
No game
Finally.
anymore. So yeah,
Yeah,
this was interesting. Gotcha.
All right.
No,
How were we on the locks? I think we hit on 2.
Yeah, we hit on 2
Mine
of the
did not
locks.
hit.
Mine
Villa.
did not hit.
That's me.
Villa did not hit at all. My under 2.5 did not hit either. On the Crystal Palace on Everton with Mike. Good job, good brother. Over 4 goals or 3.5 goals in the United or this Manchester City and Newcastle match, and then Salam, good call on the under for the Tottenham versus Man United match. So
man, it's so funny, man. It's so funny. Nah, man, good episode, guys. Should be a good week. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and as always, good luck to you in your future.